welcome to the Blue Shell Review. Joining me this week is the Extra Life Matt Chapman.
Yeah.
And the No Life Craig Clark. The theme this week is Nintendo. So everything Nintendo based or around Nintendo things. And to kick us off with this is Craig.
So, when you were young and Nintendo were coming out,
You're not young anymore.
No, you're not. Really not. As soon as you found a grey pube, you're buggered. It was in a ginster's pasta. That's like. So, when you saw the new Nintendo coming out, what was the most exciting thing that you thought about?
Sorry?
Look, I've lost a tooth. Deal with it. My F's and TH's are even worse.
We thought.
What was the most exciting thing about the console coming out to you?
Well, with the later ones, it was going to be about like what the gimmick was. What's going to be the new?
Yeah.
What's the new thing that makes this unique?
Because it was for me, it was always the controller.
Yeah.
Their controller was always going to be different.
Yeah, I mean, I think the strangest controller by far was the N64 controller.
Which I was going to throw at later on.
You were going to throw at?
Throw at.
Yeah, sure. You don't want to do that.
Throw at.
Yeah.
What was your favourite controller? Shut up! What was your favourite controller?
It's just too weird looking at him as well, because he doesn't look like him.
Matt, what was your favourite controller?
Well, what I was going to say was the Nintendo 64 was my favourite controller for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, when you look back,
It's not the best design, is it? Because you need three hands to use it.
Yeah.
See, I thought that when it first came out, why has everything got F's and TH's? I thought that when it first came out, but even looking back, it was by far my favourite controller. It just felt right in the hands.
If you're talking about like revolutionary controller, I mean the Wii.
Yeah.
I mean, when the Wii came out and having that sort of wireless movement that you'd only really seen touched at really with the iToy on the PlayStation, where you yourself are part of the game.
Yeah.
So you can play tennis with the thing, you can play golf, you can play bowling.
Well, it was since the Wii that we've really progressed even further with virtual reality. Fuck off!
Oh, get over it.
I've lost a tooth. Deal with it. I'm going to cover the gap.
What was sellotape?
Yeah, it's got to be better than the fuck all. Is that better?
Yeah, oh, it's perfect, yeah.
There we go. Now when I say twos, they're twos.
The Wii controller. Well, not just the controller, the Wii, when it came out, the whole system when it came out was incredible. And really
it outsold anything at the time.
Well, it also, I think it's what won the sort of Nintendo Sega war.
Yeah.
Because obviously they were still on par before that. You still had, the Sega Saturn and the N64 and all that. I know you had the GameCube and things like that.
I thought the Sega Saturn panned.
No, what I'm saying is the consoles, they were your two options of consoles. The PlayStation was up and coming, but then all of a sudden, like, PlayStation and Xbox exploded.
You only have PlayStation because of Nintendo in the first place.
Well, yeah, because Nintendo backed out of a contract.
Yeah.
The Nintendo and the PlayStation and the Xbox sort of exploded, completely trounced them all. And the only way that Nintendo managed to stay relevant was because of the Wii, because they basically said, well, we're not going to play your game. We're gonna create something completely different that none of you have thought of, and they did, and they still do really. When you think like the Wii U came out, where you've got the separate gamepad, where you haven't got to sit with a TV, you can actually just sit and play it on, and then obviously the Switch now.
The Switch completely
the Switch is both a handheld and a gaming console. I mean, I've always thought it as PlayStation's sort of aimed at adults, Xbox is aimed at sort of teenagers, and Nintendo's aimed at kids as such. Not kids, but families.
Yeah, you've just lost half of our 3 viewers.
Half of them?
No,
we've got 1.5.
So 1.5?
Half of our 4 viewers.
Half of our 3 viewers.
Anyway, yeah, the N64 controller, I mean, it worked. They made it work. And there's no rule, is there? There's no rule that says your controller has to be this.
And even now, I could not play it for like sort of years and still go back and still be comfortable with an N64 controller.
I I think that was partly the fact that sort of 18,000 hours on GoldenEye
Well,
kind of puts it in your muscle memory, doesn't it?
Well, I suppose so. Yeah.
Anyway, that was it.
Yeah.
Not a real review. I just wanted to talk about controllers because
Okay.
that's all I remember from Nintendo more than the games.
Yes, this is Guess a Sound. This is the quiz where we'll pick sounds from a game from any era, and the rest have to guess where that sound comes from. This week I'll be playing the sounds, and Matt and Craig will be guessing. And this week all the sounds will come from some sort of Nintendo system. Right, so we ready?
Yeah, go.
Right, sound number 1 then.
I know it. It's a Wii U game.
No.
Okay,
No.
I'm wrong.
Any ideas?
No, not a Wii U. No,
Oh,
a Wii
it's
game.
Definitely a Mario game.
No.
What?
My brain's saying carnival games, but it's not.
No.
Is it the background when you're creating a me?
Yes!
Yeah.
Well done, yes. It is the Wii Me sound. So yes, well
No,
done,
yeah,
Craig.
Very annoying.
1-0.
I'm winning! That's it, I'm going home.
Anyway, sound number 2.
Mario Kart.
The thing is with that's just like one of those, that's like it's generic Super Nintendo game sound.
I know
Anyone
it.
that's played this game will instantly know what that noise is.
It's not collecting a star from Mario Sunshine.
No.
I know what it.
Other than that,
I know what it
sounded
is.
Like, that sounded a bit.
Want it again?
Yeah. Oh no, it's Zelda.
Yes.
It's opening a chest or something like that, or collecting a.
Yeah, basically collecting anything, yeah. So 2-0. Sound number 3.
That hole's our way home. Let's go!
Tiger Woods golf.
No.
Okay.
Final Fantasy.
No.
I genuinely haven't got
Was
a
it
clue.
Star Fox?
No. Want it again?
No, because I'm not going to get it.
It is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Turtles in Time.
Very good.
Genuinely never played it.
Well, then you're missing out. Still 2-0 then, and going on to sound number 4.
Got it!
Bless you.
That's all you get?
Banjo Kazooie.
Oh, come on.
Donkey Kong Country.
No.
Diddy Kong Country. King Kong Country.
No.
Country.
It is arguably
Pikmins.
arguably one of their
Widely
a
esteemed.
very Nintendo character.
Mario.
No.
Luigi.
No.
Kirby.
Yep. 3-0.
That's not a game. He just said a character's name.
Yeah, Kirby.
I thought that's not a sound from a particular game then. That's just.
Neither was the Wii Me.
Come on, at least we get one before this is done.
Number 5.
Now this one I do know. But
Space Invaders.
No.
it did sound quite like Space Invaders.
It sounded like when it just needed the.
Yeah. No, because now I've just got Space Invaders. In
Sorry,
there. Right,
sorry.
Again.
I want to win this.
You already won it.
Not that one. You're looking at me as if like Craig get this.
It was on the NES.
I ain't got a clue. On the NES. Duck Hunt.
Yes.
Hey!
4-0.
I didn't even have a NES.
It's my argumentative.
We're doing argumentative in a different order this week, yeah, because of the order you want to put it in. So
Because of COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
because it's 2020 and
Yeah.
we can.
Yeah. This is argumentative, a little feature which usually ends up with me arguing with Alex about something, but unfortunately,
I mean, that's going to be quite an achievement today.
yeah, exactly. We could get him on video call. No, I'm not going to be able to argue with Alex, but basically, it's I try and come up with slightly controversial gaming topics, and hopefully we all have mixed opinions, and then we argue against each other. It makes it a bit boring if we all agree the same thing, but let's see what happens.
Yeah, Matt will be like, yeah, it's this, and we'll go, yeah, I agree. Yeah, me too.
Exactly.
Right, move on.
That's that done. Right. So, my chosen subject this week, which I've made related to Nintendo, is basically...
Put 50p in him.
I know, yeah.
Is Nintendo proper gaming, or is it just for kids?
Nintendo over as a whole,
Yeah.
because you have lots of sort of games that are out for other consoles that are also out on Nintendo consoles. For example, Resident Evil.
Well, okay then. Yeah, but generally, like, if you're talking about Nintendo's own franchises,
Right.
i.e. your Mario is the blindingly obvious one, but you know what I
Why
mean.
did you point at me and say Mario?
Because you're small and you like pipes.
Grease me up and slide me down.
So yeah, is Nintendo proper gaming?
Well, yeah, of course it is, because they are games.
Yeah.
I kind of get
It's
what
the
you're
whole
saying.
sort of like, it's all done in tiers, isn't it? Like, PC gamers don't see console gamers as real gamers,
Yeah.
and then you go down another level. PlayStation gamers don't see Nintendo gamers as gamers, so you go down another level,
Yeah.
and it keeps going down. Like,
So this is what I mean. I know. Yeah, we
you
might
know,
think
shooter
that it is.
gamers don't see
Yeah.
football gamers as gamers, and they goes down another, and it's ridiculous.
We might think that it is, but what I'm saying is, I know full well that there are lots and lots of people out there that won't think that.
You-
I
you've
kind
not
of
got a
get it,
report.
because I wouldn't buy a Nintendo for me. I'd buy it for my kids to play.
This is exactly, and that's
I'd buy it for my
exactly-
partner
and
to
you know
play.
I'm right. This is exactly, if God rest his soul.
But your partner's an
if he
adult,
was-
hopefully.
Yeah, but she's small.
If Alex was here, he'd be saying that. He'd be saying that exact thing.
Yeah.
That he wouldn't play it. Alex would not
But
willingly sit.
it kind
and
of goes
play.
back to what we were saying earlier, the fact that Nintendo basically just went, we're doing it different.
Yeah.
And I don't see that as a bad thing. I don't see that as you're no longer a gamer because you like Nintendo.
No, I don't.
No, but if you
I
think
mean-
about like the Wii Switch and all that stuff, where you can take out the
Wii Switch?
is it no the Nintendo Switch, sorry, where you can take out the thing and then you're playing it on the go and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That to me is more childlike than
Playing
an
a
adult.
game on your phone?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
it's like I've got a phone. I'll play a game on my phone. I don't need to have a
How is
console.
it any different?
Yeah, but it's not.
It's
different,
not it, but to me that does feel a bit gimmicky, aimed at
mate.
children.
It is gimmicky.
Than
but-
it is.
Oh,
to-
don't get me wrong. I mean, we all agree that I think that it's aimed at a sort of younger audience with the fact that it's got those sort
Yeah.
of colourful controllers and you
But
know,
I'm
those
also
sort of
in the
bright
same-
reds and blues
Yeah.
and things like that.
But it's the
But in
fact
this-
that
But
part of what I'm saying.
will
is,
will you still see
The
you know,
next
if you're
Nintendo-
sitting there playing Mario on the Switch, would you still be classed as a gamer?
Yeah, you'd still be a gamer, but I think Nintendo consoles and that are geared more towards children and families than they are to gamers.
And I would, a Nintendo gamer, although are gamers, it's more of a guilty pleasure
Yeah,
rather than
it is.
something you boast about.
It is. I mean, for me, I just say it. I just go, yeah, I'll play Nintendo, I'll play Mario. I think their games are brilliant. I think they're wildly imaginative. But you imagine this scenario. You
Wild,
sat-
out and
wild,
proud.
wild.
Yeah.
really
you,
imaginative.
you sat in the pub and you're with a bunch of like this sort of the lads and all that lot, and they sort of sit there. Oh, we had a game on Call of Duty the other night, right? Or whatever.
I can't
whatever,
get served in
whatever,
a pub because I can't. I can reach the pumps.
Whatever blokey blokes that you can't.
You're not
do
supposed to
that anymore.
do that yourself anyway.
Yeah, you can't go near that anymore anyway. It's table
No, they
service
come to the
now.
table. So, as long as you're in your high chair, you'll be alright.
I still drink with my meal.
So you're in the pub with a bunch of the lads doing manly things, talking manly stuff.
Watching
and
the cricket.
They're all talking about Call
Giving
of
a reach
Duty
around.
and FIFA and whatever, right? And you sit there and go, you imagine it. You sit there and you go, oh, what did you play the other night? Oh, I put the Wii on and played Mario. Yeah. Right.
Genuinely though, that sounds more interesting to me than FIFA.
Yeah, it does me as well.
Yeah, personal opinion. You see,
But-
this is what I knew would happen. You
Yeah.
see, we're all sitting,
But-
we're on the same.
Yeah, we all agree.
Oh, all right. Well, then that's that one done. Next subject.
Alex is now there, just like turning in his chair, going,
Yeah.
"Oh God, I want to be able to talk on this one."
Yeah, yeah.
Right, I'll be Alex then.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not though, is it? Because you can't sit and talk to your mates about like Mario. Only if you're playing like FIFA. I like a game of FIFA. I like a bit of Modern Warfare as well. Always like a bit of Warzone on Verdansk.
Yeah. A bit of teaming up, teamwork, isn't it? Teamwork.
Yeah, teamwork. Even though I go off on my own and do my own thing.
Yeah.
And
So-
it's really exciting, really interesting sitting there after I've been killed for another half an hour waiting for a new game to start.
Yeah, just watching me, mate. But Alex, piss off because you can't work as a team. So
No, I do. I always work as a team. It's you lot that can't do it properly. It's always you lot that can't do it properly. I'm great at working in a team. I am.
okay. Well, like I said, you can't work as a team, so I'm not listening to anything you say.
It comes back to that whole sort of like, are we compatible? Well, I am. Yes, this is real or fake. This is the new game where one of us will sit and describe a game, and the other two have to guess whether it's real or fake. This week, Craig is picking up the torch.
Right, it's a game where someone bounces around on a space hopper.
Called
Psycho Hopper.
Psycho Hopper. And what platform is this out for?
Commodore 64.
Wow, you are going back.
Or Spectrum.
You know what? This actually sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, I'm sure I've played this.
Okay, so what have you got to do?
Go from left to right or right to left.
Hang on a minute. Is there 5 screens?
There's 5 screens. Bouncing on a space hopper. And not having your space hopper explode. Okay, go on. Pew, pew, pew.
Oh, it's
You
not
shoot
euphemism.
things.
That's-
No,
okay.
literally you're on a space hopper and you bounce
Yeah.
and you avoid like flying things. And
Like,
if
non-specific,
they come
just flying things.
flying things, birds,
Yeah.
whatever
Planes.
they are, because it's quite pixelated, whatever they are, and you shoot them and you collect stuff, and then
So
you
when
progress.
you collect stuff, how does that help you? Does it sort of like,
It gets you to the next level.
oh, so you have to sort of collect so many
Yeah.
of something in order to progress to the next level? Do you have like upgrades and stuff? Like make your
Not that I'm
space
aware
up
of.
bouncier or your gun better? Or...
No.
What platform was it on?
Commodore 64 or Spectrum.
What year did it make its debut?
80 something.
Yeah. You see, this is the thing with this fucking game. Like, you can ask anything, and anyone can just get out of it by going, I don't know, I'm not sure.
Okay, I don't know. I'm not sure.
What company made it?
Mastertronic.
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 The thing is, when I like these games, like either they're real and I want to play them, or they're fake and I want to play them. I'm running out of questions to ask if I'm honest, because there's not really a lot. Don't sound like there's a lot to this game.
How many levels were there?
I've no idea. The main character was a punk who rode on a space hopper. On the cover of the box, he looked cool as hell. In the actual game, he was wearing a green jumpsuit.
Yeah. Were there was it with like points? Was it one of them arcadey games where you had to get like a place on the scoreboard for getting points?
High score.
I don't believe there was. I think the whole point of the game was to just not basically burst your space hopper. Had a cool theme tune.
Yeah. How's it go?
You dick. Da 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 da
Just Mario.
da 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 like that.
What were the enemies?
It was like the 80s. They didn't look like anything in particular, like purple bits in the screen,
Nah,
maybe a bit green.
Because Mario's
Bird,
enemies looked
maybe.
like actual things, didn't they? You could tell they were little mushroomy people. Or
In '82.
I'm pretty sure when Mario
so not on
first
the
came out,
Spectrum, they didn't.
it was a barrel, and that's all you could see.
Yeah.
Oh no, on the Spectrum, yeah. It was just like a coloured.
It was all just dots and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
So I'm assuming
Like Space
birds.
Invaders, we were just like.
If you were in a
6 pixels.
graveyard level bats, if you
but
were
could
in,
still tell there were spaceships.
if you
But
were
they
in,
weren't spaceships. They were meant to be aliens.
Well, you know what I mean. You could still vaguely
yeah,
tell. What was
if
going
you were in the
All
grass,
he said there were flying
flowers
things.
and birds,
Hey, wait then. No. How could you tell it was a space hopper?
because of the box,
Ah,
and it's called Psycho Hopper, and he bounces, and the longer you press the button, the higher he bounces.
Okay,
Boingy boingy boing.
so let's get an idea then, Matt. What do you think?
bollocks.
You think it's fake?
No idea.
So you're instantly going to go true because you want someone to win a point. But be honest, what do you think? It's totally made up. Because we're playing fake game, yeah?
Yeah. No, I think it's real. Because I've vaguely heard of it. So go on then, Craig. Reveal to us.
Real game.
Yeah!
Oh, Hey.
Psycho Hopper was made by Mastertronic. The game genuinely was. The box art was phenomenal. It was a punk on a space hopper with a little face.
So what I was going to talk about is the epicness that is Zelda, A Link from the Past, or A Link to the Past. This is the SNES version of Zelda, and the reason I've chose this one among all the others is one, because it's my favourite, but also it was as far as I know, the first game really that I completely lost myself in, because the storyline was just like intriguing. The environment was, it brought you in. The need to explore was all there in this game. But the thing is with this game that I like as well is that at the time there was a lot of RPG style games out, but most of them all followed a similar sort of formula with the turn-based fighting. A Link to the Past never did that. A Link to the Past was very much sort of guy in front of you, slice, dead, moving on.
That's turn-based fighting. I can't play Final Fantasy because of it.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't stand turn-based fighting.
Well, this is why you get on with A Link to the Past. It has that same sort of environment, that same sort of feel of moving, collecting things, moving things out, that sort of stuff, puzzle solving, all that sort of stuff. As a sort of Final Fantasy, the older Final Fantasy games did, without that sort of turn-based fighting thing that they had going on. It was very much sort of like you picked up sort of items and equipment that's how you improved your character as such. You get like sort of a boomerang at one point.
I remember
the
it.
The ability to pick up bombs, a glove that would pick up bigger rocks and things like that to help get sort of progress.
I remember it
through the
because
map.
I never had a SNES. I was a Sega kid growing up.
Yeah.
But one of my best mates at the time had a SNES, and we did a console swap just so I could play Link and he could play Sonic.
Yeah. It was also, for myself anyway, the first game as well where you could actually name the character yourself. Although he's obviously widely known as Link, in A Link to the Past, you could change the name. You could put whatever name you wanted in, and when the writing came up, it'd say whatever name you chose, rather than obviously Link.
Yeah.
I'd not. I mean, it's probably been up before that, but I'd personally not seen that before. So, I mean, at the time of the Super Nintendo coming out, I'm still quite young at that age, and this thing, it just brought me into this world that it was so gripping, and I spent hours playing that game. Obviously, graphically, it just sort of followed suit with the others in terms of like Super Nintendo style graphics. It wasn't like this amazing sort of graphic.
Well, weren't the other two on the NES?
The original 2 was on the NES, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
think
it must have been an upgrade from
Link's Awakening has just been remastered for the Switch as well. It was a massive upgrade from the NES, obviously. But
they went from that to Ocarina of Time, didn't they?
Yes, I believe it was on the N64.
Yeah, which was a phenomenal jump.
Yeah, because all of a sudden it became 3D graphics.
Yeah, but Ocarina of Time was by far my most favourite.
See, I mean, a lot of people would agree with you, but for me, A Link to the Past it got that nostalgia for me. I just remember playing that game for just hours on end.
Isn't that like a known thing, like quite a famous thing, that Ocarina of Time being
phenomenal,
the most popular one?
I think Link to the Past is the most popular one. The storyline was really good. The people you spoke to, and the sort of quests that you went on and things like that they were really, for a 10-year-old, really quite intriguing. And the way it starts as well. I mean, you start.
Just be honest. You like walking into shops, smashing shit, and collecting money.
Yeah, and scaring chickens.
Yeah, just running around with it on your head.
But no, I mean, like the way it starts, where you're sort of telepathically being spoken to by the princess has been locked in the dungeon. Your uncle goes off and tries to save her, and he gets, spoiler alert, he gets killed. Oh. Then you get your sword and shield from your uncle. That's how you sort of start the game as such, properly. You sort of walk to where he is, but once you get your sword, then you can start actually.
Next, you'll be saying like he saves the princess or something.
I am going to review not a game, but a particular console. I am going to pay homage to the wonderful Super Nintendo.
Nice.
And it's almost like a thank you for Nintendo.
Do you want music at this point?
Yeah.
Is this like your homage? Sorry.
Can I just point out as well, the Super Nintendo, its original name sounded like a sex aid.
Yeah. The Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or SNES. And I want to thank Nintendo for bringing it into my life. You'll find that there was a console war
Yep.
between Sega and Nintendo.
Yep.
And they were, nothing else was even in the running. It was either,
Either
you had a Sega Mega Drive
Yep.
or a Super Nintendo. That's what it was all about.
Yep.
And all the cool kids had
Had a
either one or
Sega.
the other. And unless you were minted, you had one or the other.
Yeah, you
That's
only had-
always
you
how
only
it
had
was,
one.
Yeah, yeah.
right? And I was a Super Nintendo kid.
I was a Super Nintendo.
You were a Super Nintendo
I was a
kid.
Mega
You
Drive.
were a Mega Drive kid. I just want to have a shout out to some of the amazing games that were out on that console.
Sonic
There
the
was-
Hedgehog.
There was the classic Super Mario Kart, but we won't go into that again because, obviously,
Because Alex will want to watch this.
Super Mario World.
Yeah, which again, it sort of brought Mario to a whole new level,
Yeah.
pardon the pun.
Just absolutely incredible game.
And obviously you had the Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario Brothers 2 and 3 and all that sort of stuff already. But Super Mario World, it completely sort of revolutionised platform gaming.
You had my favourite series of all time, which is the Donkey Kong Country series, which even now, you look back at that game, or those games, and they still, to me, have really amazing graphics.
Not to mention an incredible soundtrack.
Yes, fantastic soundtrack. You had F-Zero.
I was going to say I can remember F-Zero.
Amazing
Oh,
game.
absolutely, just a,
I've got it.
I was going to say it's genuinely. I hate racing games, but I don't mind F-Zero.
but no, but they still hold up. Maybe I'm biased, but you know, like you can
No, they
still.
don't.
You can
Well, I mean, the
still
thing
play
is with F-Zero as well, it was a track-based game, so all that sort of like the distance not getting any closer that you had with other games, it didn't matter with
and
F-Zero.
you're running out of time. Sort of thing.
Yeah, that didn't matter with F-Zero because you were on a track.
Yeah, you had what are the classics? Were the Starwing,
Starwing, yeah.
which all right, that hasn't held
Again,
up.
brought 3D
Yeah.
into our world.
Yeah, that hasn't held up quite as well
Not quite.
because it was one of the very first 3D
Because
games
it was
like
3D,
that, you
so
know,
it was a lot blockier, weren't it?
You look back in at the time, it was like you were flying a real spaceship. You look back now, and it's just basically a couple of lines with a laser firing.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
That's when I
Yeah.
first played Mortal
Was that on the
Kombat.
SNES?
Yeah, it sort of went. Oh, hang on a minute. There's no way that game's aimed at children because there's blood, guts, and gore, and all sorts going on in it.
But it was so aimed at children.
Even though
It
the
wasn't.
fact that my dad went and bought that game for Christmas for me and my brother, who at the time must have been about 8.
Back when Christmas was epic.
Yeah.
You open up a SNES game for Christmas, you're like,
I always remember growing up with games consoles was there were 3 types of people.
how many times?
3. You had your Mega Drive fan, your SNES fan, or you had someone that had something like a Commodore Amiga that had like
Well,
the closest you got to PC games at the time and stuff like that.
We had an Amiga, and they are genuinely epic.
Yeah, and
machines.
they were the kind of people you had, and it always tended to be the younger kids had the consoles, and the older kids tended to have like a Commodore Amiga or something along them lines, or were just starting to branch into PC.
Points out as well, your SNES games. Link to the Past was a SNES game.
I was going to say, yes. Do you know, a couple of days ago, I had a shock because I looked up
Your penis was on your nose.
the mini SNES,
Yeah.
right? And I thought, well, just recently I've been playing a bit of the mini Mega Drive, and I thought it's pretty cool. It's a pretty nifty little thing to have. I thought, well, what about the mini SNES? Because they're all the games that I remember rather than the Sega ones. Get this.
It's about 300 quid.
Have you just ruined his moment?
Yeah.
You can get the mini Mega Drive for 60 quid.
Mhm.
Why is the mini SNES not about 300, but it's 260 quid? Well, what's going on there?
What does it matter to you anyway? You've got a SNES with loads of games.
I know I have,
Well,
and that's basically
you
why
could
I
also
decided
just
it's not
get.
worth it.
I mean, you've got a PS4. Just buy the Mega Drive collection bundle.
Or just buy a
No,
Raspberry
it's
Pi.
It's not the Mega Drive one that I want. It's the bloody SNES one, the one that costs.
I love how your subject became you just whinging about the price of things.
Yeah. Well,
So what you're saying is it all boils
I'm saying
down to...
thanks Nintendo for bringing the
Super
Nintendo into my life. But come on, for fuck's sake, 260 quid, sort it out.
So what you're basically saying is Nintendo didn't do too bad for a card company.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And that's how we end it. So, see you next time.
Bye.